Awesome.
What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, also known as Hump Day. Um, we're post Teachable Tuesday here. Post Teachable Tuesday. I dropped the replay in last night as soon as the replay was done. Now, quick question for you guys. Quick question. How many of you guys since last night have used any of those 10 hook, build up, present value, call to action? How many of you guys have actually recorded any of those short form video concepts from last night? Comment SFV in the comments down below. I You guys saw me do mine live. Already uploaded that. That's there. And yeah, I mean, already getting engagement on that video. Already getting engagement on that video. Okay. Sending it out this afternoon. Make all your videos on the weekend for the week. See, you know what? That is smart. I like that. For those of you guys that didn't catch what Albert just said, he said, I make all of my videos on the weekend for the week. So you batch them all up and send them all out, which is really, really cool. And we've talked about that. So, Albert, I got a question for you. How much how much time are you taking on the weekend to do your videos? How much time? Anyone else? And we only got two comments.
I I normally only take
Oh, there you are. Hang
probably
on one sec. Hang on.
about
Hold on. I want to pull you in here. What's up, buddy?
I would say I only take about maybe so I do 12 at a time uh, at a day. So I do 12 one day and then the next day I do a 12 and it normally takes me about an hour and a half to do all 12
Yep.
and that's what I do for the weekend and then I can go and do whatever else the rest of the day after I get done with those 12.
Nice, man. Nice. All right. Well, yeah, appreciate you coming on camera and sharing that with us. I think that's everybody does it a little bit different, and I think how long have you been doing that? Now, obviously, that must work for what well for you.
I just started right after the blitz.
I gotcha. Now, did you switch to the weekend thing? Um, versus how you were doing it. Like, what made you switch that up?
Just because it cleared up more time throughout the week. So after work, I wouldn't have so much to do. I could take that time and spend with the family.
Yep. So basically, you
But
did it to maximize your time.
yes, I did.
Awesome. Awesome. Love that. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Awesome.
so good stuff, guys. I mean, that's, um, that's what it's all about. You gotta find what works for you, your family, your schedule, how you conduct things on a day-to-day basis. And, I've shared this with you guys before too. I'll usually take Fridays and I'll smash out, in the span of, 1 to 2 hours, I'll smash out a couple dozen videos and I queue them all up. So that way it's like I'm not doing short form videos every single day, although I have the time to do it. I just prefer not to do it. I prefer to maximize my time and get like once I get in that zone, once I get in that mode of short form videos, then I just go boom, 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 and I hammer it all out all in one spot. Bill, what about you? How do you do short? Because I've seen your TikTok channel. You're putting out more and more short form video content, which is a kind of a leap from you in years past. You haven't really done that. How do you handle short form videos? Like, what does your schedule and whole process look like?
To be totally honest, I'm so super busy that, and it's backwards because if I did plan it, I'd probably have more time, but I'm very spontaneous. Like, even like right now, I just posted one as we're talking.
Yep.
So I'm literally spontaneous. What I did do is, I take the nuggets that you guys offer, this is your wheelhouse. And I like even I've been doing what you said since last night. I've been doing the interaction. I never commented on other people's videos, and now I'm doing that,
Yep.
and we'll see how it goes. I felt weird doing it. You full disclosure again. I felt weird because I felt like I was being a glom, but then you have to not care. Like literally, I'm like fishing on other people's posts. But like Dan said last night, if you saw it, um, it it helps you get followers. It helps everything, right?
Hmm.
Engagement, everything. So literally, I was doing what we learned last night. When they teach something, the experts in the short form videos like Dan, when they start teaching stuff that actually works, I follow.
Yep.
I don't ask questions. I do it. Don't always do it right, but I do it. And everything we do, this, that, whatever, it always brings in results
Yep.
eventually. Always, always.
Here's a and today, guys, today's live is going to be today's training live, Zoom, whatever you guys want to call it. It's gonna be all about concepts. And just to be like incredibly, um, yeah, Shannon, good call. Shannon says I did a lot of engagement last night. So if you guys didn't catch last night's training, not just posting your videos, not just, here's some videos to go do it, yay, but like also doing like the second half of that is staying on the platform for a few extra minutes and engaging in highly, trending videos because people are on those videos, people are commenting on those videos. Those videos are current. They're current. So when you're engaging, I mean, this is pretty simple stuff, guys. When your content is current, or when when you're engaging on current content, it's going to be like a tongue twister. When you're engaging on current content, you're getting out there, and people are seeing your profile, and more likely, much more likely, especially like what we mentioned last night, if you leave an engaging and intriguing comment, a lot more chances that people are going to go over to your profile and go check you out. I mean, again,
I
simple concept.
I actually did it to yours, Dan.
I
I
saw
went on
that.
TikTok last night and
And I said, "Oh, it's Bill." And I went over to your profile. Even though I knew you,
yeah.
I still went over to your profile.
Well, it was weird because you popped up. Just so you know, I wasn't looking for you. You popped up in my feed, which is really good for you. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That means everyone else is seeing it too. So I did that, and like even last night, Dan, like when you experiment, you know me, Dan, I take it all in, and sometimes I stray, but I'm straying for a reason because someone here can actually crack the code that even Dan doesn't know. So, for instance, I remember a while back,
There's always a better method. There's
yeah,
always a
so
better method.
Dan always mentions how some of his best videos when he actually does, he's like doing a live and a live, and he's doing all this crazy stuff. So last night when we were doing the Zoom, I just opened up my Screen Pals and I recorded like a minute of our training live, and then I posted that. Now it may not go anywhere, but just thinking out of the box because I remember when you were talking about that, Dan, that for some reason that kind of stuff, uh, you know, whatever you call it, it breaks it.
Hmm.
It gets out there. So I was just experimenting.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be better ways to do things, guys. But um, because things are constantly evolving, they're constantly changing. A quick note on that is like ChatGPT. Like if we went back 6 months ago, I didn't even really. I mean, I knew what ChatGPT was, but I never used it. It was just there. I just kind of knew of it. I never used it, right? But fast forward to today, and I mean, I'm using ChatGPT, guys, like multiple times a day. It's it's crazy, it's crazy, and that's going to lead us into some of the concepts that I'm gonna share with you guys today. But speaking of that, like to what Bill was just saying, like if you guys, I mean, we're sitting here, we're doing these trainings, we're going live, we're talking about different things, like straight up, and some of you guys are going to take this the wrong way. Some of you guys are going to get butt hurt. Some of you guys are going to be like, "Oh, I totally get it." Um, we're sitting here doing these trainings. You guys show up to these lives, whether it be at night at a Teachable Tuesday, during the day when you guys are here right now at 10 a.m. If we're giving you stuff to say, hey, go do this, or hey, you may want to think about adding this in, or you may want to think about doing this. If you're taking all this information and you're not doing it and not literally not doing anything with it, then what the hell are you doing? You know, we give you this stuff for a reason because it works, because it's effective, because it's going to help your mindset. It's going to grow your skill sets. It's going to make you better. That's the reason why we share this stuff, guys. It's not because, we just want to like give you guys something cool, like, hey, yay, whip, like, who cares? Like, the stuff that we're giving you is all done from experience and knowledge. And you know, plain and simple, to be really blunt and really direct, the people that are giving you these things, hey, go do this, go try this, go, go over here, go do this thing. You know, you're learning from people that have more results than you have. And that's as simple as it is. And that was one of the best pieces of advice that I got many, many years ago is, never take advice from people that don't have what you want. Like, are you going to listen to broke Uncle Phil that doesn't have two nickels to rub together and say, don't do those online things. They're scams. Oh, Phil, you're so right. You're literally living off Medicaid and, can't afford to buy a pizza, but I'm going to take financial advice from you. Or would you take advice from someone that's full-time in the industry and someone that's been full-time for many, many years? Again, concepts. Think about the decisions that you're making or not making. You know what I mean? Like, so when we're out here telling you guys, hey, like, let's just look at the last 3 Teachable Tuesdays. So I'm going to go here into the bonuses section because every single week someone pops in and is like, where are the live trainings? Live weekly trainings right there. Okay. So you go here and yeah, there's going to be some scrolling. And sure, I could separate. I could have 2 different playlists, one's for Teachable and one for the daily live trainings. But as much as I want to create more work for myself, I don't. So it is what it is. You guys are just going to have to deal with it. But anyway, like when you guys go here, like if we just looked at the last 3 Teachable Tuesdays, okay? So last night was all about 10 examples that you guys could use for TikTok or any social media platform. Okay, how to create those. The previous week here, this was all about YouTube. Okay, getting out there on YouTube, what to do step by step. And then the first one that we did in a while here on 7-8, you guys can see it here. Just look at the thumbnails. We'll say Teachable Tuesday. Okay, the first one here on 7-8 was all about how to batch content quickly. So if you just look at those last 3 Teachable Tuesdays, and you just took the next 30 days and went in there and applied batching content, quick and easy content, grabbing those 10 hooks, build up value, call to action, went back to the one on 7-8, looked how to go get quick content ideas, how to hammer out content quickly, how to batch content quickly, how to do those things. And then you also went into YouTube and you were doing YouTube, right? Step by step, following that thumbnail, headline, descriptions, keywords, tags, what to put in a video, all of those things. If you guys just started doing those things in the last 3 Teachable Tuesdays and you started committing to that to yourself, you started doing that every single day, every single week, or, whenever you're working your business, sure, if you started doing those things consistently, showing up to it, treating it like a job, just those things alone would take you to the next level. Okay, no doubt, hands down. And these are all things, everything that I've showed you so far in the last 3 Teachable Tuesdays are all things that I do on a daily basis. All things that I do to generate leads and sales. So I know they work. And if they can work for me, guess what? They can work for you. Okay. So to what Bill was saying, like, you want to take this stuff that we're giving you and you want to go friggin' do it. Like, you don't want to think about it. You don't want to just watch the video and be like, okay, cool. Like, that sounds really good, Dan. Yep. Yay. Like, and then you show up to the next one and you kind of do the same thing. And you just hear like showing up and being a cheerleader. Like, that's cool. That's great. We appreciate you. We love you. But if you want the result, go do the thing. Does this make sense, guys? Like, comment makes sense if you guys are smelling what I'm stepping in here. Like, all the stuff that we're giving you, like, take it, run with it, learn from it. Like, that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to develop. That's how you're going to get better. You're not going to get better by just watching videos. It's not going to happen. You're not going to generate leads by showing up and watching videos. It's not going to happen. Okay? You have to go do the thing. You have to go do the thing. All right?
So quick note on that, Dan. Not TikTok. I had someone reached out to me yesterday, who we had experience with on the funnel team, who did some stuff back in the day in our first partner company, and was looking at my econ, and then found me on YouTube and said, "Oh, wait, Bill's doing it." Reached out. That's how it goes.
Yep.
It wasn't real. They, I'm no movie star. You know what I mean? I just put the content out there. You
Yeah.
know, go ugly early.
Yep. Well, you know what's funny, and this is why all the stuff is important, guys. Um, like no joke, and I can't show you the text because I'd be showing you the person's number, but um, someone reached out to me this morning. It was like 7 o'clock this morning. Sent me a text message, and they said, "Hey, I'm ready now." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know who this person is." So I went in and I looked, and the last correspondence that this person and I had was 2024. 2024. Literally over 8 months ago was the last time that I had this person and I messaged, and they did was hit me up and say, "Hey, I'm ready now." And I said, and we went just back and forth for like not even 10 minutes, and the next thing I know, they signed up. So you never ever ever know when someone's going to be ready to get started, just like Bill's point there. And that's why it's important to put out consistent evergreen content. Okay, consistent evergreen content, because you're going to have that content out there and you never know when someone's going to see it. You never know when someone's going to be ready. But if you don't go do the thing, you're not going to get the result. So, as we've said 100 times, we'll say another 100 times, is like, don't be upset for the results that you don't have for the work that you didn't do. It's, you want the result, you got to go do the work. Period. End of story. Right. Shannon has a great comment. Says, I have a newbie who posted her very first video after last night's training. I mean, boom. That's called taking action. Instead of the newbie showing up and being like, cool, I just learned something. Now let me go learn more, and let me learn more, and let me learn more. They actually
And
learned it and then did it. Right.
and one quick note on that, on Shannon's comment, Dan, that we love when something actually is substance, meaning we made a big decision to go back to Teachable Tuesdays. Shannon's comment right there just shows you that that decision was worth it.
Yeah.
Remember getting rid of the webinars? So, the opportunity webinars,
Mm-hmm.
that comment right there, that's because we switched to Tuesday. And so I think we made a good choice, Dan, because I know sometimes it's a lot of work.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 1,000%. Okay. Okay. So, little bit of a off tangent getting here, but what I want to share with you guys today is concepts. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys, because like anything, everything that we're showing, like last night was more skill set driven, right? Last night and all the Teachable Tuesdays, we're showing you guys things that are skill set driven, things that you actually have to go do. Like, you watch this video here, you learn about how to do something, and then you go do it. You watch it, you learn it, you do it. So this is a skill set driven concept that we're teaching you guys. So if that makes sense, comment the word skill set in the chat right now. Comment skill set. Okay. Now, what I want to share with you guys is more mindset driven concepts. And I'm going to be 1,000% real with you. The mindset driven concepts are way more important than skill set driven concepts. Okay. Way more important. So if that makes sense, comment mindset now. You just commented skill set. So now comment mindset. So you have skill set driven. You have skill set driven concepts, and then you have mindset driven concepts. Okay. So what I'm going to do for you guys here is let me make sure this is set to everyone here so you guys can see this. Anyone with the link? Boom. Copy that. Boom. I'm going to drop this in the comments right now so you guys can use this. Okay. Doc right there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So you guys can grab this too. These here are the concepts that I want you to go through these today. Some of them are going to resonate with you. Some of them are not. Some of them might really, really resonate with you. And I've shared all of these with you over the years. Okay. I've shared all of these with you. I use these all the time. These Jim Rohn concepts are literally applied to my daily life. Daily. Like I think about a Jim Rohn concept every single day. So I want to share some of these with you. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I just dropped these in here this morning, and lo and behold, I went over to, ready for it? I went over to, sorry, that was an image that I'm working on right there for ChatGPT. I went over to ChatGPT, crazy, right? And I just said, hey, give me the best Jim Rohn concepts. Give me top 10. And I said, okay, give me 10 more. And then what I do, I just copied them. I put them here. So I want you to go through and I want you to think about some of these things, like this one right here. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Now, that doesn't mean, work harder on your skill sets. Work harder on yourself, self-development, personal development. And under each phrase here, guys, is kind of the method or the meaning behind it. Self-development is the foundation of all lasting success. Skill up, read up, or grow daily, right? But think about there's one key word, and that phrase right there that's highlighted in blue. There's one key word for me that stands out. And for those of you guys that are looking at my screen right now, what do you guys think that key word is? And it's the most important word on this page. Okay. Nope, not foundation. Although foundation, yes, is a very important keyword, but it's not the word that sticks out. It's not the word that we're focused on right now. Okay. Okay. Grow daily is 2 words, but no, it's not that. Yes. Linda, got it. Lasting. Okay. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Okay. All right. So I want you guys to think about that. Self-development is the foundation for all lasting success. So plain and simple, guys. And I cannot underestimate what I'm about to say. If you do not work on your mindset and attitude consistently, if you are not doing this self and personal development, you will not last. Do you understand that? Comment, I understand, if you guys understand what I'm saying right now, because it's the most important thing we're talking about in this entire webinar today. Okay? That's why number 2 is so critically important. Like, if you do not work on yourself, your personal development, your mindset, your attitude, you will not last in this industry, in this business. And I'm just going to get super real with you right now and super crystal clear. I've been doing this since 2016. I've been full-time since 2017. I've had so many ups and downs over the last, 8 years now? 8 years of doing this? So many ups and downs. I've had compensation plans change. I've had, businesses completely fall apart, all completely out of my control. My wife and I have lost a child, like real effing life. And just so many ups and downs that it would be so easy at any major points in the last 8 years to reach into my pocket, grab an excuse and say, I can't do it anymore, or I don't want to do it anymore. But the reason why I'm here, the reason why I've lasted is because of personal development. Working on my mindset, my attitude, my outlook. If you don't do those things, you're going to reach into your pocket, you're going to grab an excuse. And you guys have heard me say this classic Jim Rohn line. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll create an excuse. Couldn't be any more true, right? Another thing right here, okay? Don't wish it were easier. Wish that you were better. I mean, like, when I read some of these, like this is what I love about these concepts, guys, and this is what I love about, like, I don't know about you, I don't know about you, but like when I read some of these things, I just go, oh my God, that's so good. Like, it's so good. It's so stupid simple and it's so good. So I want you to think about, like, when you get frustrated, when you're trying to figure out how to do something, when you're trying to get this to work, when you're trying to, create videos, create content, like do all the most of the techie stuff that like people just they get so frustrated about. They have a hard time doing, or maybe it's just the willingness to go press record and create that video. When you think of this one super simple concept, like if this is you, like write this down, write it down again, write it down again, put it on a post-it note, stick it in front of you so you literally see it every single day. And I know you guys have seen this before. You can't see it with this camera, but I literally have post-it notes hanging under certain things like my monitor, though, over here, my camera that's right in front of me. So I literally see certain messages. I'm absorbing certain messages every day, sometimes subconsciously, sometimes consciously, where it's like, instead of getting frustrated, going, oh gosh, I can't figure this out. Oh, I don't want to do this. Instead of thinking to yourself, man, I wish making money online was easier. How many of you guys have thought this? I wish this was easier. Comment easy if you guys have thought that. I know I have. Honesty, I know I have. I wish this was easier. But wait, like, don't wish it was easier. Wish that you were better. Like, wish that you were a better person. Wish that you were a better marketer. Wish that you had a better mindset. Wish that you had a better outlook. Stop wishing that things were easier and wish that you were better. Like, go be better. Go develop more skills. Go develop a better mindset. Go learn how to do something and then go learn how to do it better. I mean, that, like, this, one of my favorites here. It's just, for me, some of these things, when you see it, you're just like, oh my gosh, that's so simple. It makes so much sense. And then for me, I get that realization of like, oh, I got to be better. I got to be better, you know? So I want you guys to take this stuff. Again, I dropped it down in the comments. I'll try to remember when I'm uploading the video to our playlist to put in the comments under there. Okay. Another great one right here. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. Not practice every once in a while, not practicing when you feel like it, not practicing when you get around to it. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practice every single day. We all know this one. If you don't design your own life plan, if you don't have a plan for what you're trying to accomplish, chances are you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. Whoop. Whoa. Okay. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Okay. Oh, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. If you don't have the discipline and you're not doing it every day or consistently, you ain't going to cross the finish line. Here's another one similar to the other one. For things to change, in other words, for your life to get better, you have to change. You have to get better. For things to get better, you have to get better. I mean, my gosh. How simple is this stuff? We're sitting here, you're sitting there, overcomplicating the crap out of things, making it way more complex and way more overwhelming than it needs to be. And sometimes it's just as simple as you make a small shift in what you do every single day to work on your personal development, to increase your mindset, increase your attitude, increase your outlook, and get and be better. And then the thing that seems overwhelming won't be so overwhelming. Simple. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Man, Either you run the day or the day runs you. Man. Oh man, success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Man, this will fit into some people's plates here. What is easy to do is also easy not to do. How easy is it not to do the work? How easy is it not to press record? How easy is it not to edit the video because you don't know how? How easy is it not to go apply what you learned on Teachable Tuesday last night or any of the last 3 weeks? It's easy not to do it. It's also easy to do it. Just got to go do it. Okay. Uh, ready for this one? Let this one sink in, please. Let this one sink in real good. We all must suffer one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Man, let that one sink in for a second, and I'll read it one more time. We all must suffer one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Come on. So guys, please take these, use them. I put it in the comments. I'll put it in the comment one more time so you guys have it. But just have this stuff in front of you, use it. And remember, there's kind of two paths that we're on here, right? There's the skill set concepts, which is the physical, the going and doing the thing, pressing the record, making the video, editing the video, uploading the video, putting the hashtags on there, using the keywords, doing the physical thing. And then there's the mental concepts, right? If you don't, and the mental concepts, guys, are so much more important than the physical. Okay? Put that in the comments right now. Mental is more important than the physical. Please put that in there. Mental is more important than the physical. Because it's as simple as this. Let me make this really crystal clear. If you don't have the mental, you're not going to do the physical. Okay? If you don't have the mental concepts, if you don't have the mental stamina, you're not going to go do what needs to get done. Okay? I hope this stuff is making sense for you guys. I hope you guys are getting some of this. I hope this is maybe resonating with you guys because I love sharing this stuff because this stuff is the most important stuff. It's the most important stuff. If you're not doing it, remember the very first one that we shared, you will not last. You won't make it. You won't make it. And, I get some of you guys to reach out to me all the time. I've been doing this 3 weeks and I don't have any results. I've been doing this 3 months and I don't have any results. I've been doing this 6 months and I don't have any results. And it's I don't even need to explain to you where you're at when you reach out and say something like that. I know exactly where you're at. You're not doing the personal development. You're pointing blame. You're down on yourself. Do I have to say any more? Mental concepts and skill sets are the number one most important thing for you guys to last and for you guys to win. End of story. End of story. Bill, am I making sense here, buddy?
Totally making sense. It's everything you said was on point. What I like to add to it, and I always think when you're talking about, your stuff is that, don't beat yourself up. Um, you know, you got to treat this like a business. I talk to some people. I always like to give real life experience. So actually speaking to other entrepreneurs and leaders in the industry, and I say this a lot, but I really mean it. I know we want to make a lot of money, but some of the leaders that have joined me, and then the person who is coming in, well, already came in, uh, that was with me once before. One of the things I said is that, when if you guys have been in this industry for a while, you'll know what I mean. And the best breath of fresh air for me is getting up in the morning and not having to look for another opportunity. I mean that. And I know
Hmm.
Dan's there now too. That is peace. When you look at our competitors, they're all over the place. They're always looking for the next deal, the next shiny object next week. So that's my piece. But where I'm segueing into what Dan was saying is the other thing is the professional and real integrity from the top. That's my second piece. But I treat it like a real business. And when you use the products and services, you'll have better days when you're feeling what Dan just described, when he said that he knows where you're at. You'll have better days because you're not putting all this pressure on yourself. And one last thing about that, when I say treat it like a business, treat it like you spend $100,000, not $100.
Yep.
Okay. And finish the job.
Yeah.
Like finish the job. And Dan hit on something a little while ago. I didn't interrupt about there's different styles when you get jammed up. He was talking about the quote, we wish it was easier. You know, real life. And sometimes I'm frustrated. I'll be sitting here working on a project, editing something, doing something. Battery goes dead on the laptop. I'm telling you, it's real life. Not enough space on the laptop, or it's always something. Blah 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 blah. And I look to my girlfriend all the time, when she's around, and I say, that most people would stop right now. I go, I'm an animal. I finished the job, and that's my mindset. Sometimes I get stuck. It's actually sometimes a fault. Like sometimes I get stuck on the computer when I'm supposed to be on for an hour. 4 hours later, I'm still saying, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. Now, it's just because I really treat it seriously.
Hmm.
And like Linda said, her stubbornness is good. I don't give up. Listen, I don't have every tool, in the toolbox. I have my strong points and I have my weak points, short form videos. Okay. It's not my thing, but I'm still learning. What separates, if you can get a little piece of this, is that I don't give up. And that's what's helped me. Once I find something I love for the reasons I know that it's superior, my goal is going to be hit. One last piece, Dan, is if you guys have heard me before, I look at this business like a digital membership, like it's a Planet Fitness. I own a Planet Fitness. And if you know anything about gyms, they do all memberships. They want the most memberships. So I want 10,000 memberships. And you got to put a number in your head. Write it down like Dan says. You got to have a number. How many you want? You want 1,000? Someone just asked me yesterday, Lyndon Greer, I'll call him out. Lyndon Greer messaged me yesterday. He's traveling abroad. He's all over, he's in Africa right now. He's having a great summer. And he messaged me and he said, how many team members do I need to have $10,000 a month? He said, how many personals? I said, forget about personals. You only need a few. It's team size. He
Hmm.
said, how much team size do I need? I said, you need 1,000 people to make 10,000 or more on monthly residuals. That doesn't include any of the direct commissions.
Hmm.
So treat the business like a real business. And yes, Dan, my stubbornness, and I've had those moments that you're talking about in your quote. It's easy to give up, but if you treat it like a real business, you can't give up.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's about that.
Bill, one thing I'll say about you, I mean, obviously I've known you for a lot of years, and over those years, when you get stuck on something, I mean, you'll literally message me, you'll text me throughout the day, you'll call me and be like, dude, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I'm hitting my head against the wall, pulling my hair out, whatever it is. And and eventually you figure it out, no matter what it is, whether it's, your Facebook account going down or trying to figure out something to do with an email autoresponder, a page builder, a video editing, whatever it is, like you never quit. And that's the biggest thing that we're talking about here, guys. Like now, if Bill's mindset wasn't right, if his head wasn't right, he would have just said, "Ah, whatever. I'm just going back to insurance. I'll go do my thing." You
You
know.
want to know, Dan, what I spoke with Ivy Stokes is the founder of my econ for anyone that doesn't know it. So I spoke to him yesterday. He was on vacation. So I'll just let the cat out of the bag. You know what I said to him? I said, this is great. This is great. This is great. And then I said, just so if you guys don't know, the website is getting an update. So they're
Hmm.
doing some updates. It's going to look it's going to look prettier or whatever they're going to do. But anyway, I said, and this is, I had a moment, but this is what he's for. This is like when Dan calls me. I said, I'm good. I just wish I could get to that 10,000 people faster
Hmm.
because Dan knows better than anyone what I've made before I got out of bed on a team in the past. So I have to get to my mark. Like even if I got to 5,000 people, I'm happy, but I'm going to get to 10,000.
Hmm.
So my point is that I had a moment, and it wasn't a moment of like, I just said I wish it was faster, and I needed to tell someone that, and I said it, and I said, I'm good. Let's get to work. And by the way, you want to come on one of our trainings? That's what I asked him. So he's going to be coming on our training soon. But
Hmm.
with that said, we're all human, but going backwards is not going forward. I'll leave it at that.
Nope, definitely not. Yeah, we're always moving forward. And another thing I've heard Jim Rohn say, and you guys can think about this, right? We need to be moving forward every single day. We need to be growing. We need to be learning. And couple of things. Jim Rohn will always say, "Don't be lazy in learning." Don't be lazy in learning. Everyone put that in the comments right now. Don't be lazy in learning. Okay. I know so many people in life, so many people that will talk about something and say, hey, we got to do this or we got to do that or whatever. Well, I don't know how to do that. Like, that's being lazy in learning. I don't know how to do that. Like, how can you be in this information age with like anything in the world right at your fingertips? Anything you want to learn at your fingertips. And you have the audacity to say, well, I don't know how. That's just being lazy. Like, it's being lazy. You can't call it anything else. You can't call it anything else. So don't be lazy in learning. And also, like, because if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to grow, if you're not growing, you're what? Think about this. Fill the rest of that phrase in. If you're not growing, you're what? Put it in the comments. If you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to grow, you're just dying a slow death. That's it. I mean, let's get real. If you're not willing to grow, you're not willing to develop, you're not willing to learn, then you're just slowly dying. If you're not willing to put the effort in, then you're just going to be on this path towards whatever. It's about as real as it gets, guys. It's about as real as it gets. So let's go do it. Let's go grow. Let's go nourish. Let's go develop. Let's go improve our skill sets. Let's go improve our mindset, improve our attitude. Let's go get better. Let's go do more. Let's go have more. You have the ability to do that. Starting today, right now. Go be the best version of yourself you can be. Period. All right. I'm good. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. We will not be live tomorrow, Thursday. You guys know where I'll be. We'll pick back up on Friday. So tomorrow you guys get a day off from being live. You don't get a day off from your business, though. You don't get a day off from personal development. You don't get a day off from taking action, but you get a day off from hanging out with us. So we'll see you guys live on Friday. Have an awesome day, everybody, and we'll see you then. Take care.